To this now, 5 alleged construction mafia kingpins from KwaZulu-Natal will learn on Friday if they will be released on bail. They were arrested last month for allegedly disrupting work at a construction site in Pietermaritzburg. Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise reports.
During the bail hearing, the investigating officer's testimony outlined the events of the 22nd and 23rd of August when the accused allegedly demanded the closure of the site if their demands of being service providers for security services were not met. In the state's closing arguments, it affirmed that the group's actions amounted to extortion and their demands turned the site into a crime scene.
Your Worship, following the cross-examination of Warrant Officer Molapo by the counsel for the applicants, I did not seem to gather any material dispute of the facts. What are those facts? That on the 22nd, they went to the construction site, caused it to be closed upon their demand. There is no substantial dispute of that fact. It is before you. And therefore, I submit, Your Worship, prima facie, we have placed before you a prima facie case.
Prosecutors argued that even after the accused were jailed, the construction project resumed without incident, reinforcing suspicions that they were the primary instigators behind the disruption. The court has been asked to consider the likelihood that they will continue to wield influence over the site if granted bail.
Now, let us look at what happens after the incarceration of the applicants. After they were incarcerated, project continued. There are no qualms, everything is in order. Let's suppose for a moment they are released on bail. Yes, you say they must not go there. But they will be outside to still have an influence. It's quite clear. Any argument that they were ringleaders or instigators is supported by the fact that after their incarceration, project continued without any problems.
Further concerns were raised about the transparency of the defense, as Section 60(11)(b) of the Criminal Procedure Act requires the accused to disclose prior convictions. The prosecution suggested possible dishonesty, pointing to an intent to obscure past offences from the court. The defense had earlier stated that accused number 2 had omitted information around his previous rape conviction because it happened 28 years ago.
Well, Your Worship, as put it, there's a combination of various factors. Mainly is that as a youngster at 17 years old, you come into court and it's reasonable, understandable. And the point of the matter is that, especially in light of what he was convicted of, it could have been so easily disclosed if he understood it. So it was not something that was deliberate. So the actual situation is that he understood it in this way, that he was not convicted. And as I said, is that 28 years ago, an offense committed that time could not be a factor that this court would have considered. So if he honestly believed that he was actually convicted, the easiest thing for him to have done to this court was to come tell the court, I was convicted.
The magistrate has postponed the matter, keeping the accused in custody until Friday's ruling. If bail is denied, the accused will remain in jail as the extortion case moves forward. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Nobuhle Modise in Camperdown, KwaZulu-Natal.